and save when you customize your order by August 31st at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com.
Experience the rebirth of an American treasure in Oconomowoc. The club at Lac La Belle is open. The redesigned course is one of Wisconsin's finest tracks at the heart of the Wisconsin Golf Trail. Named Best New Wisconsin Course in 2021 by Golf Digest. The club at Lac La Belle is open to the public 7 days a week. Schedule your tee time today at club@laclabelle.com. See what everyone is talking about. The club at Lac La Belle is a place to experience over and over again. Go to club@laclabelle.com.
Hey, Greg Scalzo here. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
It's officially the love era.
From the day we drafted him to see him now, just to see how he's matured.
Jordan Love has been extended.
The most glowing thing that's been said is he's matured in every facet of life.
Does Love actually always persevere?
It's a lot of money for a guy who hasn't, played.
Find out with us.
At the same time, obviously, we're moving forward with him.
On 94.5 ESPN and streaming live every day on WisconsinOnDemand.com, Twitter, and YouTube. Yeah, they're football guys, but they don't shy away from the big topics of the day.
We won a championship, and my dad brought me 8 chips to eat on the drive because he wouldn't stop for a snack.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of truth in that. Just imagine if we lost. He wouldn't even gotten those chips.
Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Hey, yeah.
This is Homer and Tony.
Oh, baby.
Homer, I'm getting in the camera so you can see me. You know what dance this is?
Yeah, I can't do it. The one I can't do.
What is it?
I don't know what they call it.
Come on, I want to see you do it. Get up and try.
No, not trying.
Yeah, Pebbles got it. Come on.
Nope.
The people want to see Homer floss. Call in if you want to see Homer floss. Not quite it, but okay.
How's that? Now you feel better?
I feel great now.
I just want to let you know, Tony Smith doesn't laugh much, but when I do something stupid, he laughs so hard he can't stop. Look at that. He can't stop. He cannot
stop right
laughing. Now. See? Jeff, also tell Tony that it did not get stolen, and you have his jersey.
Did you receive my jersey?
I wear it around here a little bit when I got customers.
Hey, yeah, Jeff.
Take my jersey off and put it in a frame.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue. This is Homer and Tony.
In perfect harmony. Well, not exactly. The Hall of Famer is on assignment. And on top of that, I didn't take advantage of some free money on Friday because we had the One Call That's All. David Gruber, One Call That's All.
One call, that's all.
Pebble, what did you predict?
That Miami would win Game 2 in Denver last night, and boy, did they.
I didn't believe you. That was good money to pick them to win. I think if you bet, I don't know that I would bet 100, but you bet 100, you win about, I think to win that game last night had to be anywhere between 250 and 300. How'd you know?
I just figured they win the game. They've been doing it all series. They've been winning Game 1s on the road. They didn't win Game 1 on the road this time, so I figured they'd be in this game. And then when I saw that they were down big midway through, almost like
second quarter, yeah,
9-point lead, and they were down by I think 9 entering the fourth quarter. I'm like, ugh, not looking good. But they came back in that fourth quarter.
No, they weren't down.
Robinson,
they weren't down 9 going
quarter.
into the fourth quarter. They were down 9 like in the first half. By the second half, at that point, they were leading most of the game. And it's the weirdest game because the reason that Denver got so far in front is they took Joker out. And with him out, Miami had no idea what to do offensively because everything they do offensively works around screening with Joker and then make him guarding the new player after the screen by Adebayo. And when he wasn't there, they could do nothing. And it was the second team of Denver that was so good. And then, so in the second half, they got to bring him back in. Well, now that he's playing, all of a sudden Miami has no trouble scoring and getting shots. And while he scored a lot, Miami did too. So they kept him in the full third quarter. Then when they took him out in the fourth quarter, the second team didn't do as well, but I don't think it was out that long. So Miami kept scoring, and then at the very end, Miami was up by like 9, and Denver hit a couple of threes to make it closer. It really wasn't. It came down to the last possession, but it really wasn't that good, that close. They were in control much of the second half. Well, I do not apologize for the pause because I'm watching from behind the greatest sports team on the planet Earth. And what would that be, Pebble?
The Oklahoma women's softball team.
Yes, and they have been playing Stanford, and they are playing Stanford. And Stanford has the greatest softball, the Eddie Feiner, that's really the greatest softball pitcher on the planet. And it's the one pitcher that Oklahoma couldn't hit. But she pitched so much. There's so many innings. Didn't I tell you she was losing it? Tell them that I predicted that.
You did, yep. Right,
and they just got hit for 2 runs, and Oklahoma is on their way to winning their 51st straight game. The greatest team on the planet Earth. So somebody else tried to tell us what? Manchester or some
Manchester United, yep.
Yeah.
Soccer team.
They've won 3 titles or something. So Oklahoma now, I believe, is 1 game away from a 3rd straight national title, but that doesn't matter. 51 wins in a row. And even that is not the top story. It's an impressive story. Not as impressive as Pebble, and I apologize, Pebble, for not having the guts Friday to say, Pebble's hot. I'm going to take his pick, even though I didn't see how they were going to do it until they...
Yeah, I've been hot in the one call. That's all for the weekend lately. I'm thinking about tanking from now on just to see if something happens. Maybe I can go in a different direction.
No, keep going hot. I'm going to start betting behind you. I'm not going to tell you that I am. But
okay.
You can make me some money. I had a pretty good one call, that's all. I said the Brewers would sweep Cincinnati.
Over the weekend, yes.
Over the weekend. Yep. Now, you did catch a error in my performance because I thought they would sweep. And I may have said the 3-game series, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I did not realize that, and this to me seems really weird.
They got a game.
They have a 4-game series, today, including Monday. What is that? You ever heard of that?
Never.
No, that is odd. They don't play on Memorial Day, and then they play a 4-game series through Monday. But I said they would sweep over the weekend, which they did.
And not only that, but they also played in the first game they played against the Reds. They had to play an early afternoon game around 4 o'clock because there was a concert that was going on after the game was done.
Yes, and had to win. I think they won in 11 innings.
Yeah, they had to go to extra innings for that one. So the concert started a little bit later.
And of course, it's weird. In the 10th and 11th, you get a runner on. I think it's definitely the 10th. I think you do in the 11th too. You get a runner on second with nobody out, and so they had to pitch well. I mean, they didn't score in the 10th, and you think, well, the Reds are horrible. The University of Cincinnati Reds, you could call them. Even that is not the top story. Because I will stand corrected if someone has said this before. But I'm listening this morning on, all right, what's the name of it?
Keyshawn
and the 2 other guys. It's Keyshawn, Jay, and Max.
Yep.
Jay Will, is that what
Jay
they
Will,
say?
yes.
This isn't Jay. And it's 6:52. I can tell you exactly what time it was when I was watching. Because I thought, I don't believe anybody has said this on the planet Earth. Now, we will first play the entire conversation, right? So It was brought up as a because they got to figure out stuff to talk about the NFL. Because in our business, they've discovered that you should talk about the NFL all the time. So they got to come up with stuff. And they said they got the Bakhtiari comment and just brought up the Packers are rebuilding. I thought, well, there's nothing there. That's new. And then they start the conversation with Max, and then does he say, "Hey, I'm Keyshawn," and I think you understand it's he's the one who says it, right?
Correct.
All right, let's hear the conversation. Historic, unless you can tell me of anybody on the planet Earth that you have heard say what Keyshawn Johnson says.
Let's go to Green Bay. I don't know if you've heard, they moved on from their Hall of Fame quarterback who only won one Super Bowl, kind of weak. So David Bakhtiari.
Kind of weak?
Yeah, listen, as great as he was, you get one title. As a fan, I'd be a little upset about that. So David Bakhtiari, Packers left tackle, was talking about, are they rebuilding versus competing? And here's what he had to say.
We got a job to do. We got a job to win. I know everyone would love to take the words that I said, but it's, to me, flat out how I look at it, it's disrespectful to say you're not rebuilding off a Hall of Fame quarterback. It was disrespectful to say you weren't rebuilding off of Brett Favre when you moved to Aaron. No one knew who Aaron was and what he was going to be, so I'm not going to sit here and pull back those words, because that is, when you look at how it's been built and how we were chasing after it and how the cap, there's a bunch of situations that can definitely allude to it. We have a young team. With that, people go to the word rebuild on an extreme level, or you look at what it is. The beauty is, I have no clue. And that's the beauty of it. That's what football is. We're all batting 1,000 come the first game of the year, and we'll figure it out.
I'm not mad at it. All right, Jay, since you hopped in there first. Jay, should the Packers just admit that they're rebuilding and take some pressure off of Jordan Love?
Is one word going to take pressure off of Jordan Love, regardless of whether they're rebuilding or not? You're following Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. There's going to be pressure. Sorry, one word is not going to change how much pressure that is on Jordan Love at all. At all.
I think he needs to worry about protecting Jordan Love's blind side, number one, in Bakhtiari. But at the same time, they're not rebuilding. They're putting in a quarterback that they expect to be able to do some things. When you're rebuilding, that means you lost several players. And I understand Aaron Rodgers is a Hall of Famer, and Aaron Rodgers is this, and Aaron Rodgers is that. But if they feel like this young man and Jordan Love can get them to where they want to be, sometimes it's addition by subtraction. And I know you guys don't want to say that because it's Aaron Rodgers. But what if Jordan Love does do some things that make you go, will we still be sitting here at the end of the year talking about they were rebuilding?
Are you predicting that?
I think he's going to do. I think they're going to win the division. That's what I think.
I don't. If you look at Aaron Rodgers' first season where he actually started, right? So Brett Favre is there, and
Okay. Am I right on this, Pebble? Keyshawn Johnson, who I think deserves a level of respect. He's pretty smart football. He just said the Packers were going to win the division. Did I have that right?
He thinks they're going to win the division, yes.
Have you heard anybody on the planet Earth say they expect the Packers to win the division?
I have not, no.
So we think we got it first. You got the shortened version now, right?
Let's go to Green Bay. I don't know.
Rodgers sitting on the bench for 3 years.
What was that?
I get the shortened version here, Homer.
Oh, okay. Because this we're going to play thousands.
I think they're going to win the division.
Again?
I think they're going to win the division.
And again?
I think they're going to win the division.
Can't wait to hear what Jason... So we got it right.
I think they're going to win the division.
Yeah, the Green Bay Packers are going to win the division. If you have found anybody else on the planet Earth with any level of respect, now you can't pick the person working at Walmart. That doesn't count. Or your neighbor or you. Somebody with some level. This is Keyshawn Johnson, national ESPN show this morning about the Green Bay Packers.
I think they're going to win the division.
What?
I think they're going to win the division.
What?
I think they're going to win the division.
Jason Wilde, next.
I think they're going to win the division.
Stay tuned. Packers reporter Jason Wilde has the latest from Titletown coming up next.
3 years.
Homer and Tony,
Drafted right around
94.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand. Football Guy.
I don't care how irritated you are that Jesse did that. The fact that it led to your imitation of me is more than sufficient payoff.
Football Guy.
It's you.
Coming at it from different views.
Girls, I didn't know that I did that, but I guess I do.
Go to the grocery store. We'll stop at Fleet Farm.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN. And available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
What if in 1968 the mayor said nope to Summerfest? How many bands would you have never seen? Would hitting 12 stages in one day even be possible? Thankfully, 55 years ago, Summerfest was a yes. Milwaukee Summerfest, presented by American Family Insurance. Find tickets and lineup at summerfest.com.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA, founder of Right Choice Tax Resolution and international best-selling author on how to have less stress with the IRS. The IRS is the most ruthless collection agency in the world. They just announced they will be ramping up collection activities now that the COVID crisis is over. They can seize your bank accounts, garnish your wages, and make your life miserable. My book tells you what you can do so you don't have to worry about them ever again. Don't bury your head in the sand and hope the problem will go away. It will only get worse unless you make the right choice and step up to get them off your back. We can help. We help reduce or eliminate penalties, negotiate payment plans, and represent you in tax audits. Make the right choice and go to rightchoicetax.us to book a call or meeting right now. We know you want to take the first step in getting the IRS off your back so you can live again. That's rightchoicetax.us.
Kevin Moret here from Mentality Men's Health. Guys, did you know that the stored belly fat reduces your free testosterone? The more the belly grows, the harder it is to drop, mostly because of the decrease in free T. It's a vicious cycle that men are losing, and unfortunately, everyone can see it. Mentality breaks that cycle with semaglutide, an industry-changing weight loss medication that can help you lose up to 15% of your body weight while preserving your testosterone. Join our over 20,000 clients to look and feel the way you deserve. In Milwaukee, go to lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com.
So, I have a question for all you guys out there. Why is it that I see you hauling all kinds of stuff in your trucks? Lumber, ATVs, furniture, and everything is strapped down tight. Except you. I mean, come on, fellas. You're just as important as your buddy's blue plaid sofa. Buckle up.
Pickups rock. They also roll. Buckle up in your truck and arrive alive. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Transportation.
Hey, you're on summer vacation.
Let's go to the castle.
Of course, no road trips without stopping at Mars Cheese Castle.
Grandma loves that cheese.
And your uncle always wants that beer you can't get outside of Wisconsin.
Right off I-94 in Kenosha, Mars Cheese Castle is a must-stop for any road trip. Along with over 1,000 cheeses, Mars has a meat market, bakery, bar, and restaurant. Spreads, curds, sausages, crinkles. Mars Cheese Castle is also the perfect lunch stop on your way out of town. Make today your day to go to Mars. Exit 340 in Kenosha.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen.
For late nights writing English papers.
For your teen's music taste.
For dinners, where they talk more on their phone than with you.
For the first time, they call you Mom.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen, and you can't imagine the reward.
To learn more about adopting a teen, visit adoptuskids.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Station updates, show clips, and your place to interact with us every single day just by scrolling through your feed. Follow along on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ESPN Milwaukee. Jason Wilde is brought to you by Boucher Automotive, where we ride with you every mile. 18 dealerships, 15 brands, and thousands of vehicles in stock. Check them out at Boucher.com.
Everybody on the planet Earth, everybody in the universe should get information about the Green Bay Packers from Jason Wilde every day of the year. We do our part. 94.5 ESPN. Good afternoon, Jason.
Have you heard from anyone outside of the Milky Way?
Not yet. Not yet. I'm not aware that I kind of know there are things outside of the Milky Way. We have breaking news from Keyshawn and the two others guys' show this morning. They were discussing the Green Bay Packers as to whether or not they are rebuilding based on the comment by David Bakhtiari, which we have addressed. But when they went to Keyshawn Johnson, he said, sometimes you have addition by subtraction. And then he made this comment about the Green Bay Packers.
I think they're going to win the division.
Excuse me?
I think they're going to win the division.
Pebble, that was in reference to the Green Bay Packers?
Correct.
What did he say again?
I think they're going to win the division.
Now, I have respect for Keyshawn Johnson. All the things that he said on that show, I think he doesn't make wild comments. I believe he's the first person on the planet Earth to pick the Packers to win the division, but I want to make sure I'm accurate. Are you aware of anybody else, Jason, that has said the Packers will win the division?
Not one of them. Yeah, no.
And in most betting services, they are the least favorite. You get more money picking the Packers to win the division than any other team if they, in fact, do it.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's as high as 400 some places. I will now search because based on what Keyshawn Johnson says alone, I think I'll put $100 down on the Pack to win the division.
Oh, my God.
You don't agree?
No, hey, it's your money. Do whatever you want.
No. I admit it's a reach, but if it's 4-1, I was shocked when he said it.
He also said that Jordan Love could be a Pro Bowl quarterback this year. He's going to be a Pro Bowl quarterback. Maybe not this year. He definitely said.
No, again.
From the little that I've seen.
Yeah.
That was how he prefaced it. From little that I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's going to be good. I think he's going to be a Pro Bowl quarterback. That was the quote that I know Jesse plays that as a promo on ESPN.
Anybody can be in the Pro Bowl. I mean, I think Brent Fullwood has a Pro Bowl appearance, but
I believe he does.
Yeah, but I would accept that as more likely than winning the division because he got time. Division is this year.
That is what he said this year, yeah.
All right. Well, then he must have some incredibly, we'll have to get him on the show, belief in the Packers, and I'd like to know specifically why.
You think he's got some sort of inside information?
I don't know, but I think there's got to be something that he believes that makes you say they're going to win the division. You could say, I think they're going to be above 500 or whatever, and, this...
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
What happens to Keyshawn Johnson if the Packers don't win the division?
He's wrong.
Yeah,
it's like,
nothing.
Yeah, nothing, but... Right, but it's still, you have, like, when you say something about the Packers or whatever, and if you missed it, you're wrong, fine, but I still think you have a great deal of credibility based on your knowledge, and I would say I'm comfortable. If you said the Packers were going to win the division, I'd probably bet $200 on the Pack. Not because I'm certain you're right, but the value is so good. I'm getting 4-1 on a team that Jason Wilde says could win the division. Damn, that's good. Now, if it was even money, probably not. But 4-1, if I can get that, even with Keyshawn Johnson, just smaller amount. So
could win the division is different than they will win the division.
Totally, yes. And did he say could? Let's hear what Keyshawn said again. Did he say could?
I think they're going to win the division.
I think they're going to win the division. It's not a could.
Different.
Yeah,
it's not a could.
All right. I know. So you don't. We can move on, right? I just want to make sure if you'd heard of anybody else.
Not only could we move on, I'd like to move on.
Well, I want to move on to David Bakhtiari, and I don't want to. You discussed this with Craig Karmazin, and I think what he said is crazier than what Keyshawn Johnson said. Like, I want to make sure we're discussing voluntary workouts, correct?
Yeah.
How do you hold anybody responsible for attending a voluntary workout?
Yeah, you'll have to ask Craig.
Well, no, it makes no sense. Voluntary means what?
You don't have to come if you don't want to.
You don't have to come. They have a negotiation with the players' union. They work this stuff out. Voluntary. It's outrageous that teams even ask the people to come other than if they pay them. Voluntary is voluntary. Homer, you going to come? No. Okay. Voluntary. Got other stuff. If the league teams wanted it that bad, they wouldn't have made it voluntary, correct?
Yeah, and the Packers want it bad enough that they're willing to pay him $700,000 for him to come. Like, look, I totally get Craig's opinion of team chemistry and leadership and all those things, that you would like him to want to be there out of responsibility beyond fiscal responsibility. I get it. I totally understand it, because I would want, just like Aaron Rodgers had no real financial gain to come last year, I think from a team perspective, there was plenty to be gained. I've told him this, on FaceTime because he can't get calls. I think he was wrong. He's entitled to think I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, and I'm entitled to my opinion. And I think that was a misstep last year. I think, there was a way to figure out a compromise. I know he's got his, he needs to get away to recharge his batteries. I know he's got his team of, who's the guy that Brady had, Alex Guerrero or something like that. I know Rodgers has his own kind of crew, that his body guy and his workout guy
his
and
team.
Else. I can totally understand that he needs that time with those guys, but I feel like, especially someone who has private jet access like he does, that it wouldn't have been too much to ask for him to take part on a greater basis than he did. And when, again, whether you believe Romeo Doubs or not, whether you're Team Romeo or Team A-Rod, whatever you might be, when Romeo Doubs claims that he, quote, barely talked with Aaron Rodgers, and in a podcast earlier in the offseason says that he never hung out with him outside the facility, which is not uncommon, but when you say it publicly, it makes it sound like this is something that is a dastardly thing that Rodgers failed to do. It draws your attention. It certainly got my attention. And so when I look at Rodgers, I would say, look, as a leader, as a guy with a bunch of young guys around him, he should have been here. In David Bakhtiari's case, look, I know this sucks, buddy. I know, I get it. Like, all the old guys are gone, and you got to find different transportation to practice, and you can't, go out to chives with your wife Frankie and Aaron and the Cobbs and have dinner because they're all gone. I get it. That sucks. I can imagine how lonely you must feel. But these guys need you, and you are a leader on this team. And so I understand Craig's point, but your point is the most important one, that the Packers recognized how voluntary this is, and that is why they pay through the nose to get people to come to it. I mean, that started 15 years ago.
Right, and how many other veterans aren't there is to make it...
Not there. None of the corners were there.
Yeah, as to make a judgment on one player because he's not there or not going when he's not paid. I mean, I'm not just saying the Packers, around the league.
Yeah, and I think Craig was... I don't want to speak for Craig, but I also think he was bothered by the fact that, he was so public about his, I'm only here because I'm getting paid, otherwise I wouldn't be here, and I'm going to miss 5 days. Like, I think one of our tweeters that tweet the show regularly, Matt Coonan, said he said the quiet part out loud. Because, let's be honest, if you go through all the other guys that have very large workout bonuses, would they be there if not for those large workout bonuses? Hell no. So it's not just a David Bakhtiari thing. That's a veterans who need to be compensated to come to Green Bay, Wisconsin, even though the weather's been lovely for the past month, in the middle of their off season. So I don't think David Bakhtiari is any different than Jair or Preston Smith, who wasn't there at the last OTA when we were here. Bakhtiari took one of his 5 allowed missed days and had it during the first week, which happened to be the day that we were there, which is fine. But it's also, I think, important to note that this is commonplace for every player. Like, remember that crazy story where Devon House a few years ago was his connection from Minneapolis to Green Bay was canceled, and he wasn't going to make it to Green Bay. So he posted on Twitter that he needed a ride from the Twin Cities to Green Bay, and he actually came on our show. His name was Eric. Some random Packers fan came and picked him up in Minneapolis and drove him on Highway 29 all the way across the state in the middle of the night to get him there for the practice, which was voluntary, but he had a workout bonus. And if he missed that day, he was going to cost himself a ton of money. So whatever he paid the guy to drive him. Same with A.J. Hawk many years ago. Like, he took like a Uber or something all the way to like Ohio because otherwise he was going to miss a big workout bonus. And so, the fact that David Bakhtiari has one is not special in any way. I just think that Craig is right in that for a team that needs to build a culture and has so few leaders that, this idea that Romeo Doubs and Christian Watson are the quote-unquote leaders of the wide receiver room. Romeo Doubs does not strike me as someone who has a very strong leadership personality in terms of speaking up, in terms of getting after guys when it's necessary. He seems like a lead by example. Please try to do what I say, but I'm really not going to say much. Just try to do what I do. And so this is a team with a leadership void because it is so young. And David Bakhtiari is one of the few players that is extremely accomplished. And I agree with Craig in that I would like him to be there.
Yeah, but I want to say this. You cannot use voluntary workouts as a standard for any level of leadership. It's a joke. It's made up. And it's a stupid setup. And any player, I don't care, good or bad, however you judge his leadership, if you make any judgment on that leadership based on anything regarding voluntary workouts, that's crap. Because everybody knows the setup is crap. They know it's a joke. It's treated as a joke by so many players. They're not really voluntary. So either change the rule or don't be allowed to ever complain about a player's leadership because what they do or don't do regarding voluntary workouts. That's wrong.
Yeah, my argument would not be about his attendance.
Whatever. Behavior in any way.
Would be about his attitude, yeah.
Fine. No, you can't. I don't care about the attitude either. It's a joke. I assume Bakhtiari is doing it for some. I don't know what the reason is. I don't think he wants to be traded. Maybe I don't know what. There's a reason he's decided to do this. But as I said, you can say whatever you want about him. You can't say anything about a player's leadership based on how they deal with voluntary workouts, which are a joke. Everybody knows they're a joke, and you have to pay people to show up.
Yeah, I think this is more a reflection of what his overall attitude has been from referring to the Packers as they, or from criticizing the social media team's video for the schedule release. Or, look, I got no problem with him saying that they're rebuilding. And I actually thought that he did a good job of saying, look, we can be rebuilding, and I can stand on that and remain steadfast in my belief that that's the case, while at the same time saying, hey, look, a couple things go our way. We could be like Seattle was last year that traded their potential Hall of Fame quarterback and still won 9 games and snuck into the playoffs. Like, both those things can be true. And I thought he did a decent job of not necessarily walking it back, but, kind of explaining his view. Now, I also think that he is supremely frustrated. Like, I think he's pissed that he's the last old guy standing because the punter, as you well know, doesn't count. And the fact that he is one of the few guys, Randall Cobb was another one. These guys, all these guys that arrived after the Super Bowl 45 championship and went to, in Bakhtiari's case, 4 more NFC championship games and lost them all, and has never been to a Super Bowl. And now he's looking, I'm 31 years old. Rodgers is gone. I don't dislike Jordan, but I don't think he's going to be good enough for us to win the Super Bowl next year. My contract makes it so I'm probably not going to be back with this team next year. So then I'll have to be a mercenary trying to win a Super Bowl with somebody else. But I may get through my entire career and never play in a Super Bowl. And I would have never thought that when I got drafted to a team with Aaron freaking Rodgers as the quarterback. So I think that's probably part of why he's, if you want to say acting out or speaking out or whatever you want to view it as, I think that's probably the psychology behind it. But again, I don't think that it's purely based on his attendance or why he's attending that is problematic for him. I just think that it would be really good for his team, and if he wants to somehow find a way. If Jordan Love somehow miraculously plays well, I mean, like really, really, really well. It wouldn't be a miracle if he played well, but really, really well, and they turn out to be a contender out of nowhere. It probably would be nice if you were putting forth a little more effort to be the leader that you could be.
Okay. By the way, it's up to 500. Somebody said Caesars Sports bet 100 win 500 if the Packers win the division.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got that kind of money, go right ahead.
Well, no, I could bet 20 and win 100. There's a certain amount of money. I'm up 1,200 because Tony didn't think I had the guts to pick the Brewers to win the division a couple of years ago when that was 4-1. And I put $300 on that and won $1,200. But
nice win for you.
It was a very nice win. So I have a little to play with, but I don't have much confidence in this one. That was baseball prospectus. All right. Thanks for the input on Bakhtiari.
Keyshawn Johnson prospectus, not as reliable.
Not as reliable. Thanks, Jason.
All right, over. Take care. Be good.
Jason Wilde, all Packers all the time. What did Keyshawn say about the Packers?
I think they're going to win the division.
I think they're going to win the division. 1-800-990-3776. You're next.
I think they're going to win the division.
You're listening to Homer and Tony.
I don't get the heavy metal national anthem. We've had 2 of those in the last couple of weeks.
That's not heavy metal.
That isn't heavy metal?
It's just electric guitar.
Oh.
It's like Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, it's just electric guitar.
But Jimi Hendrix did some electric guitar that was really good.
Yeah, that's just... It didn't sound that bad.
Didn't it? It did to me.
It's more like a... Meow, 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 meow.
They may have done the guitar.
Oh, say... Can you see? We're going to have you do the anthem.
No, we can have
By
you.
the dawn's early
Well, we know one thing.
That
would be like, oh, say! I would yell.
On 94.5 ESPN and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Woo! I am thirsty today. Definitely going to need a cold one. There's the one. We're back again with 21st Amendment's V Failing to tell us what's so great about the Brew Free or Die Blood Orange IPA and what separates it from other summer IPAs.
We love our Brew Free or Die Blood Orange IPA. It's one of those ones that, if you're dipping your toes into an IPA, this is the perfect starter IPA for you. We use fruit in our beer, and we pride ourselves on using real fruit. Another one, this one clocks in at 7%, and we use real blood oranges in this one, and you can taste it. It's not a punch of blood orange, but it's a nice, refreshing blood orange mood with that nice hoppy flavoring finish.
Thanks again to V for joining me to talk about 21st Amendment brewing. I think we're all ready for some summer drinking, so if it's the Hell or High Watermelon or Brew Free or Die Blood Orange, remember, the fridge better be stocked.
Life's better with an auto policy from American Family Insurance. No matter what dreams you're driving towards. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto coverage at the right price. You'll also save up to 23% when you bundle auto with home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Welcome to Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. May I take your order?
I'd like 9 windows, please.
Of course. All our products are custom made just for you.
I'm hoping they'll match my home.
Of course they can. Have it your way.
Excuse me? We're talking about windows, right?
Yes, we customize any decor. Our design options are virtually limitless, even more customized than your coffee.
So you're like my personal barista for windows and doors.
Exactly. And you couldn't have picked a better time because if you customize your order by August 31st, you can bundle and save big.
Good deal. That was easy.
Thank you. Drive through.
Pella's premium wood windows and patio doors feature distinguished craftsmanship and nearly endless possibilities. Bundle and save when you customize your order by August 31st at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com.
Kelley Blue Book is the one-stop shop for pricing, fixing, selling, and instant cash offering.
Instant Cash Offer is exactly what it sounds like. An official offer to buy or trade your car. Just enter your VIN or license plate, answer a few questions about your car's history, and what kind of condition it's in. In minutes, you'll receive an offer to sell or trade your car that you can be sure is fair. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car and schedule a time to meet. For all of the its, KBB.com.
Next up, Straight Talk from Doug. Ever notice that saying no offense is offensive? Like, no offense, but you're overpaying for your wireless. See? Offensive.
That's the Straight Talk talking. Get unlimited plans as low as $35 a month from Straight Talk on America's most reliable 5G network. Available at Walmart and Walmart.com. On the $35 plan, first 10 gigabytes data at high speed, then 2G speeds. Refer to the latest terms at StraightTalk.com. Based on most first place rankings, Root Metrics, second half 2022 assessments of 125 metros. Experiences vary, not an endorsement.
What is dedication?
My daughter started making necklaces. She makes what we call affirmation fashion. I tell her every day that your black is beautiful. And if there's anything better than being beautiful, it's being smart. And if there's anything better than being smart, it's being kind. And reaffirming that every day is our method of making sure her chin never drops.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
I've been a throw up the dinner. And I can put you in. I can put you in.
Wade versus Diener, a 3-day event where Dwayne Wade and Travis Diener will compete to raise the most money for local youth literacy programs. Mark your calendars for July 23rd. I think it's the 23rd, 24th, and 25th. Let me see. I got to get that right. I think it's 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. The event's 3 different days. The last one is golf at the Bog on the 24th. Don't miss the opportunity to join these NBA stars. If you don't know who they are, don't miss the opportunity to join them as they give back to the Milwaukee community through their shared love of basketball and fundraising for youth literacy. Register at wadeversusdiener.givesmart.com. wadeversusdiener.givesmart.com, and they have 3 days of event. Camp the first day, and then games and different things stuff, and then golf the 3rd day, the 24th of the Bog. So wadeversusdiener.givesmart.com.
You're listening to Homer and Tony on 94.5 ESPN and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
You know, you're projecting confidence, but you're also speaking into existence what you think is valid. They believe Jordan Love, with the right pieces around him, could get it done. He's got probably more weapons than Aaron Rodgers had a year ago. And if the offensive line can hold up and they have those 2 great running backs, then he might have a winner. He doesn't have to put up huge numbers either. He just has to have command of the offense. That's really their main goal for him.
They have more weapons than Rodgers had last year? I don't think so. I mean, Lazard, I'm not saying how good he is. Do they have someone back that's better than Lazard? Or do they have, you'd have to assume the young receivers the second year are going to be that much better, or that at tight end. Tunyon wasn't great, but I don't, we'll have to have that with Jason tomorrow. 1-800-990-3776. Yes, June 5th, 2023, when the first person on the planet, Keyshawn Johnson, said this about the Green Bay Packers.
And I also grabbed a more affirmative portion of what he said, Homer, too. So
more than that?
Yeah.
Oh, baby. I think they're going to win the division. That's what I think.
Yeah. Hear that again.
I think they're going to win the division. That's what I think.
He's not backing down. He's not even saying it's a long shot.
I think they're going to win the division. That's what I think.
Yeah. And as I said, he, in terms of credibility on his opinions, I mean, there's only so high anybody can get. I would say a B. I think Keyshawn Johnson saying it gives it a great deal of credibility. Would there be more credibility if I said it, Pebble, than Keyshawn Johnson?
No, it would not.
No, I would agree with you there.
He's in a national show, so.
Yeah, and he played in the NFL, and just I've followed what he said, 1-800-990-3776. I follow what he said often enough to know if he says crazy stuff. Like, I think Skip Bayless says crazy stuff. I don't know who else. Who else is in the crazy stuff? Where if they said it, you really wouldn't.
Shannon Sharp?
Shannon Sharp, yeah.
Stephen A. Smith?
Yeah, Stephen A. Smith. He just says it loud, and so I don't know. I haven't. I would definitely give his opinion some credibility with basketball. Maybe not as much on football, but yeah. The Green Bay Packers. Oh, baby, that would be great. It would be like Marquette too. Marquette picked to finish 9th in the Big East, and at some point in the season, they're 6th in the country. I think it would be similar to the Packers win the division. It would be similar to Marquette having the season they had last year.
I think they're going to win the division. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think they're going to win it. He just keeps getting stronger. Can't wait to hear what he says tomorrow. 1-800-990-3776 if you wish to comment on Keyshawn Johnson or your thoughts if you think the division. Whatever, this is the first day. I never anticipated this. Even though Oklahoma won, they have now won 51 games in a row. I think they're just one win away from a national championship. That is 51 wins in a row. And most of the games aren't even close. They've won like half of those where they had to end it because I don't know if there's some run rule, 7. I don't even know what the rules. I don't know anything about women's college softball. I just know they're the greatest team on the planet right now. I believe they're 59-1 and have won 51 games in a row. I think they'll be playing, there are 2 other teams left. Doesn't matter. They're playing someone, and they're going to win, and they will go down as arguably the greatest team on the planet Earth. Came close to losing today because they were facing, what pitcher would you say now? There is no great pitcher in baseball. I said Pedro Martinez, but that's from a few years ago. Is there any great pitcher today in baseball that you'd say, if they're pitching, you're going to lose? I don't think so.
Shohei Ohtani?
I mean, he's great because he's Babe Ruth, but I'm not sure his pitching is that historically. We'll have to look that up. Are you a better guesser? Caller 4, are you a better guesser? Sophia Minard is on at 3:15 to tell us about the first-place Brewers who continue to amaze and are attempting to finish off a sweep of the Cincinnati Reds. Yes, the one thing the Brewers need to do to win is to get more games against Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and the Cubs. Caller 4, are you a better guesser? Next.
More of Homer and Tony next on 94.5 ESPN. No one else does it like Scalzo and Brust.
I don't know what kind of guy LaFleur is. LaFleur is just he's like a nice guy.
Oh, no.
He's a nice guy, right?
That's horrible. That's the worst thing you could say about a head coach.
Am I wrong?
That's hitting some people who've been turned down from dates.
He is a nice guy. He seems like a nice guy.
Oh, no. Your tone.
That's the vibe that he gives me.
Scalzo and Brust. Weekdays 4 to 6 on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Michelob Ultra.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Father's Day is almost here. Looking for the right gift for Dad? Whether it's a unique craft beer, hard-to-find whiskey, or a spectacular bottle of wine, we've got you covered. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor, where since 1960, we have provided the best selection and the lowest prices in town. We stock literally thousands of varieties of beer, liquor, wine, and mixers. Over 15,000 actually, but who's counting? The point is, you want it, odds are we have it. Combine our incredible selection and everyday low prices with our 2 convenient locations, and you've got your one-stop shop for Father's Day. Discount Liquor on 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and in Barstow and Maine in downtown Waukesha.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
See our specials at discountliquorinc.com, and happy Father's Day.
Jump into summer fun when the Brewers take on the Pirates Friday, June 16th through Sunday the 18th. Start the adventure on Indiana Jones Day on the 17th and get a Craig Council bobble with a theme night ticket. Then, take home a Brewers Bucket Hat giveaway for the first 10,000 fans ages 21 and up on Father's Day, Sunday the 18th. Presented by Miller Lite. Get your seats at Brewers.com.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Hi, I'm attorney David Gruber. After an accident, you need a trusted winning team on your side. For more than 30 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped Wisconsin families get the results they deserve. If you've been injured, call our firm today for a free consultation. We're available 24/7. Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Wade versus Diener, a 3-day event that will feature activities where Dwayne Wade and Travis Diener will compete with your help to raise the most money for local youth literacy programs. Mark your calendars for July 23rd for a tee-off party hosted by Wade and Diener with giant beer pong, Jenga, bags, local food trucks, drinks, and more at Discovery World. Don't miss this opportunity to join these NBA stars as they give back to the Milwaukee community through their shared love of basketball and fundraising for youth literacy. Register at wadevsdiener.givesmart.com.
Hey, this is Bo stepping in for Ridgetop Larry, here to tell you about Ridgetop Exterior's most affordable payment options, including no interest and low interest financing. For your free estimate, visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Roofing, siding, windows, and doors, visit ridgetopexteriors.com.
What is dedication?
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that my kids wouldn't have a father. And I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. I definitely had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
I wish everything was as easy as promoting Fisco. I promote Fisco Auto Body. Those people who listen to me go there, and they're amazed. They're so good. You got an auto body place forever. Everybody has a certain situation. You have to take care of it. That's done. Let's go to Fisco. It's the best. Homer was right. And then you like me more, too. Fisco Auto Body, a family business owned since 1931. It's not what they do, it's who they are. They're so good, it's crazy. On Forest Home in Franklin. Don't give the address. On Forest Home in Franklin. You go there, you'll like them, you'll like me, you'll be happy. Oh, move on. You got an auto body place forever. Fisco, 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 to remember the name.
You're listening to Homer and Tony on 94.5 ESPN and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
It is time for Are You a Better Guesser? I don't know. It's going to be difficult. Because there's only one thing everybody's going to remember from today's show. There's only one. Somebody of NFL significance said the Green Bay Packers could do what?
I think they're going to win the division. That's what I think.
Yeah. Keyshawn Johnson said it. June 5th.
I think they're going to win the division. That's what I think.
Yeah. They win the division. That's what I think. Strong. Now all we got to do is get him on the show, right, Pebble?
That's right.
And what are we going to ask him?
What were you thinking when you said the Packers were going to win the division?
How the hell can you believe they're going to win the division?
I think they're going to win the division. That's what I think.
All right, and I want to look for the biggest odds I can get. I now believe it's a value pick. No, I still think it's a stupid pick. Unless Football Prospectus says it. I need somebody. But I'm now up to 500. I'm going to put $100 on the Packers based on Keyshawn Johnson because I win 500. It's a value thing. If it was 200, no. And I'm hoping if I wait, it'll maybe grow up to 600. It is time for Are You a Better Guesser? Who's our contestant?
Chef Ed is our contestant today, Homer.
He's legendary.
Legendary Chef Ed.
I believe it's 7. He's won 7 times. He's been in the finals 29, I think. Let's see if I'm close. Chef Ed?
Absolutely correct, Homer. 29-7.
29-7. All right. Well, you're the first day of the week this week. Would you like to?
Yeah, and little. What? No, I would say about Keyshawn. I mean, I listened to
Keyshawn, Jay, Will, and Max,
Right.
and he's also the one that spouted off about the Lakers beating the Nuggets. He has his viewpoint.
Well, no, but hold on. Be fair to him. All right, he's from L.A. He's a huge supporter of all the L.A. teams, the Lakers. I think even is it the Rams? I'm not sure the Rams, but the Dodgers. So yes, when it comes to LA team, but as far as outside of that,
would you trust him more with football or basketball though? Would you trust him more with football?
I would trust him more with football, but I don't trust him with anything regarding LA teams because he's just a biased fan. So, but if he says anything about an LA team in whatever sport, I'm not buying it. But any team about a team in any other sport. Football would certainly be at the top. Well, Keyshawn Johnson said it. Chef Ed, how would you like to respond to Keyshawn Johnson's comment?
I think they're going to win the division. That's what I think.
I'd love to see Keyshawn be absolutely 100% right, but Homer, I've been following the Packers through the 70s, 80s, 90s. I actually see them finishing last in the division this year.
Well, and you should know that you're just like most betting services. They have him last. That's why the Packers, you get so much money for them to put money on them winning the division. All right, you ready to go?
Ready to go.
Which of these has the most career receiving touchdowns in the NFL? Keyshawn Johnson, Sterling Sharp, or Tyreek Hill? Which of the three has the most career receiving touchdowns? Keyshawn Johnson, Sterling Sharp, or Tyreek Hill?
I'll go with Sterling Sharp.
You will go with Sterling Sharp. All right. And Pebble?
I'm going to go with Keyshawn.
Keyshawn. Figure, why would I do it and put him in something that he doesn't win, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Tyreek Hill has 63 career receiving touchdowns. Keyshawn Johnson, Sterling Sharp has 65 career touchdowns. And Keyshawn Johnson has 64, and Sterling Sharp is your correct answer by 1. And Chef Ed is now in the finals for a
I think they're going to win the division. That's what I think.
30th time. Are you going to bet any money on the Packers winning the division at 5-1 based on what Keyshawn Johnson says?
I think they're going to win the division. That's what I think.
No, Homer, I'm going to pass on that one.
All right, okay. All right. That's fine. Thanks for the call, Chef Ed, and congratulations in the finals for a record. That's why he's Chef LeBron for a record 30 times. 1-800-990-3776. We need more comments from you. You can text, of course, 1-800-990-3776, or you can call in. You heard it, and I think right now, Pebble, to put it in proper context, we need to play the whole thing. It's like, what, 2 or 3 minutes?
It's about 3 minutes long.
Yeah, then we'll be at the top of the hour and be behind again, just a little. But just so you understand, Keyshawn Johnson, I'm listening to the morning show. Keyshawn and the 2 other guys, that's not what they call the show. That's what I call the show.
Keyshawn, Jay, Will, and Max.
Correct. Now, Jay Will is actually the only one that's been on our show in the morning. I don't think we had Keyshawn, have we?
We have not, no.
No. So maybe this will get him on. But and they promoted that they were going to talk about, are the Packers rebuilding? And I thought, listen, there's probably nothing there. And then the historic comment was made. So from the beginning of the conversation this morning, 6:52 is when it started.
Let's go to Green Bay. I don't know if you've heard, they moved on from their Hall of Fame quarterback who only won 1 Super Bowl, kind of weak. So David Bakhtiari.
Kind of weak?
Yeah, listen, as great as he was, you get 1 title. As a fan, I'd be a little upset about that. So David Bakhtiari, Packers left tackle, was talking about, are they rebuilding versus competing? And here's what he had to say.
We got a job to do. Like, we got a job to win. I know everyone would love to take the words that I said, but I mean, it's, to me, flat out how I look at it, it's disrespectful to say you're not rebuilding off a Hall of Fame quarterback. It was disrespectful to say you weren't rebuilding off of Brett Favre when you moved to Aaron. No one knew who Aaron was and what he was going to be, so I'm not going to sit here and pull back those words, because that is, when you look at how it's been built and how we were chasing after it and how the cap, there's a bunch of situations that can definitely allude to it. We have a young team. With that, people go to the word rebuild on an extreme level, or you look at what it is. The beauty is, I have no clue. And that's the beauty of it. That's what football is. We're all batting 1,000 come the first game of the year, and we'll figure it out.
I'm not mad at it. All right, Jay, since you hopped in there first. Jay, should the Packers just admit that they're rebuilding and take some pressure off of Jordan Love?
I mean, is one word going to take pressure off of Jordan Love, regardless of whether they're rebuilding or not? You're following Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. There's going to be pressure. Sorry, one word is not going to change how much pressure that is on Jordan Love at all. At all.
I think he needs to worry about protecting Jordan Love's blind side, number one, in Bakhtiari. But at the same time, they're not rebuilding. They're putting in a quarterback that they expect to be able to do some things. When you're rebuilding, that means you lost several players. And I understand Aaron Rodgers is a Hall of Famer, and Aaron Rodgers is this, and Aaron Rodgers is that. But if they feel like this young man and Jordan Love can get them to where they want to be, sometimes it's addition by subtraction. And I know you guys don't want to say that because it's Aaron Rodgers. But what if Jordan Love does do some things that make you go, will we still be sitting here at the end of the year talking about they were rebuilding?
Are you predicting that?
I think he's going to do. I think they're going to win the division. That's what I think.
I don't. If you look at Aaron Rodgers' first season where he actually started, right? So Brett Favre is there and Rodgers sitting on the bench for 3 years. 3 years. Drafted right around the same spot as Jordan Love. They were 13-3 in Brett Favre's last season. You know what they were with Aaron Rodgers in his first season?
Tell me.
6-10. So I wouldn't say it's a rebuild key, but I do think it's reasonable to say he's going to have to get his feet wet his first year as starter. He's not going to be as good as Aaron Rodgers was in Rodgers' last season as starter, where they didn't even make the playoffs, but not like a full rebuild because they've already drafted their receivers. They're ascending. So maybe a little step back year one, and then they're right back at it the following year. I think that, to me, that's fair.
I think they're going to win the division. I know you guys love Detroit, and you guys are all high on the Lions.
Minnesota, yep.
Yeah.
Detroit, Minnesota. Yeah. Chicago should be better. We'll see.
Yeah, Minnesota.
There you have it. This morning, Monday, June 5th, the first time I believe anybody of any insignificance or of any significance has stated the Green Bay Packers will win the division.
I think they're going to win the division. That's what I think.
You know how much thought I'd given to that possibility? Zip. And how much thought have I given to the possibility now?
Zip.
But I'm willing to, at 5-1, I'm willing to invest $100. 1-800-990-3776. You heard it in the proper context. It's too long to play 30 times during the show, which I want to do today. Top 3 at 3. Oh, since we don't have the Hall of Famer Tony Smith on the side, maybe we should have Chef Ed do one. No, that allows me to do my top 3 at 3 for 2 spots because they're that historic. Best on the planet. Have no idea where Pebbles are going to go. I would guess to the Heat since it made him look really smart. Next.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Homer and Tony's coming up next here on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA, best-selling author and founder of the Neal Group, with over 40 years of experience helping businesses make money and keep it. 2023 is in full swing. How are you doing? Do you have money in the bank, or are you just getting by? Doing the same old, and expecting different results? We help you look at your numbers and understand what they mean so you can make better business decisions. How would you like an extra $10,000 or $100,000 in your bank account? I thought you might. Using tried and true strategies, we have helped countless businesses increase their profits and lower stress. Our Neal deal guarantees you will increase your profits or you don't pay us. Really. If you want to get started on the road to making more money and having less stress, visit nealgroup.net right now. That's NEAL Group.net. The first meeting is free to see if we can help you put more money in your pocket. Again, that's nealgroup.net.
Drive safely, Wisconsin. Highway workers are out on the road. They do it to better serve you. And just like you, they want to get home safely at the end of a hard day's work. When driving, all of us have a chance to set the right example. Be patient. Put down the phone. Never text and drive. Slow down and move over if possible to give workers a little extra room. Work zone safety. It's everyone's responsibility.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin DOT.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Homer here. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
This is Homer and Tony.
Oh, baby. Homer, I'm getting in the camera so you can see me. You know what dance this is?
Yeah, I can't do it. The one I can't do.
What is it?
I don't know what they call it.
Come on, I want to see you do it. Get up and try.
No, I'm not trying.
Yeah, Pebbles got it. Come on.
Nope.
The people want to see Homer floss. Call in if you want to see Homer floss. Not quite it, but okay.
How's that?
That
now you feel better?
I feel great now.
I just want to let you know, Tony Smith doesn't laugh much, but when I do something stupid, he laughs so hard he can't stop. Look at that. Beautiful. He can't stop. He cannot
stop right
laughing. Now. See? Jeff, also tell Tony that it did not get stolen and you have his jersey.
Did you receive my jersey?
I wear it around here a little bit when we got customers.
Hey, yeah, Jeff.
Take my jersey off and put it in a frame.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue. This is Homer and Tony.
In perfect harmony, the Hall of Famer Tony Smith on assignment. Don't know where he is. Don't care. Hope he's okay. Other than that, he'll be back tomorrow. The AmFam tournament coming up this weekend. Jerry Kelly, Steve Stricker. They always have a great crowd. There's incredible energy. If you watch golf on TV and the Golf Channel, and you watch the Senior Tour Champions Tour, there's nobody at most of the places. But then you watch the one in Madison. Oh, baby, it's packed. 17th hole with everybody around it, par 3. Fabulous. It is time for the top 3 at 3.
The best of the best. The pick of the litter, the creme de la creme. This list is as exclusive as it gets.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, let's ride it. It's the top 3 at 3 with Homer and Tony. Presented by Saz's Steakhouse, the place to grab a bite and a brew before the game. Stop by 55th and State for a shuttle to the game. Saz's, the finest.
That's right. Supposed to be right at 3 today, wasn't it? With Saz as our sponsor. That was close. Compared to what we normally do, this is a plus, right, Pebble?
It is, yes.
Yes, all right. We right at 3 o'clock in the future. Do you think there's any chance of that, Pebble?
I'm hoping so.
You're hoping so. That's as positive as you've been. Yes, Sass is fabulous. Take it to all the Brewers games. I think they take it to the Admirals games, too. Though they've got to win their next 2 games in order for there to be another game at home. They're down 3-2, playing in Palm Springs, California. That's not the name of the team. I don't know the name of the team. Pebble, you know the name of the team the Animals are playing?
No, I don't.
Whatever that
Coachella, I think.
Yeah, wherever that famous
Coachella.
wherever that famous concert is, or the concert.
It's Coachella. That's the name of the team too.
The Coachellers. But they're down 3-2. Since I gave him the legendary
the Coachella Valley Firebirds.
There you go. They are the Firebirds. Yes, they gave him the bourbon, the championship bourbon. They were 1-1. All right, the top 3 at 3. It's easy for me. Do you just want to agree with me, Pebble, or are you going to try to come up with something that is not equal, but you're going to put it up anyway?
I'll put some up different, probably. I'm going to see what you got first. I'm assuming one of them is Oklahoma.
Of course it's Oklahoma. They get them both. 51 wins in a row. The greatest team on the planet Earth. The Oklahoma women's softball team. I'm watching it at noon. Do you think I was considering being late for the show to watch the end of the game?
I think you were, yes, because you were wondering why the game was on a delay in here and not in the 9th inning when it was only like in the 2nd or 3rd inning here.
Yeah, I wasn't going to miss the show. But I'm walking through the avenue and I'm going to the bar they have in the middle. There's none of the TVs have the softball. What is wrong with you? This is the greatest team on the planet Earth. And I'll give credit to the person behind the bar. They go, "Oh, you mean Oklahoma?" Yeah. And there was one channel that was on out of about 15 TVs. Come on. Anyway, it looked like they were going to lose because Stanford has probably the greatest pitcher in the last 20 years in college softball. And so there's the one pitcher they couldn't score on, and yet they still ended up winning. She got a little tired. So Oklahoma has now won 51 games in a row. They are 59-1, one game away from a national championship. And they don't need to know anything. You don't need to know anything who they play. You just need to watch them. And know this. Every time a hitter steps to the plate, what's the first thing you need to know, Pebble? Every Oklahoma hitter steps to the plate.
They're going to get on base?
No. Oh, no. Not historic. You get on base? No, that's weak. Every time a player steps to the plate, the first thing you should think is she could hit a home run. All 9 could hit a home run. Ever watched a baseball team in your life where you could say that about all 9 hitters? Never. You can say it about Oklahoma. Every player could hit a home run. So, yes, top 3 at 3. That's mine, and that's the Hall of Famers as well. Unless he calls one in, and I'm not counting on that, right, Pebble?
Right, he's not calling one.
All right, so you do in whatever.
Yeah, I'm taking the Heat over the Nuggets in Game 2. It's the first win for Miami in Denver since 2016. They now got the series tied up 1 game apiece. We all heard.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm not going to let you get away with that.
Why not?
They only play there 1 game a year.
Still.
Okay. Well, but they
haven't won there in 7 years.
But that's disingenuous. They never play there.
Well, it's not my main talking point.
Yeah, the main talking point is they had not lost a home game in the playoffs this year, right?
No, my main talking point is just how Miami is on a comeback run like few others have had in NBA history. If you look at when it facing a deficit of at least 12 points this postseason, the Heat are 7-6. The rest of the NBA is 6-59 combined.
Yeah, so you're right. If they win the NBA championship, they will trump Oklahoma. That's how great they would be. I'll put them ahead of Oklahoma if they win the NBA Finals.
And that's the 8th seed, too, having to go on the road for each and every playoff series to start off with.
Yeah, that's kind of phony. They were really a 7th seed until they added that goofy new rule.
They still got to go on the road no matter what. So
yes,
7th or 8th.
7th or 8th. And they lost their first playoff game. Atlanta beat them. Then they had to beat Chicago in order to qualify as an 8th seed. So, yeah, they're... And do you know who's made a lot of money? I know we should probably find someone. Do you know who's made a lot of money?
Who's that?
Anybody that's taken Miami through and on like every game throughout the playoffs. They're the underdog. They were the underdog, I think, they've been the underdog every game in this series. I think they were the underdog in every game against Boston. Even when they win, they're still the underdog. They should be the Miami Dogs. That's who they are. And you know who's the favorite for Game 3 in Miami? Want to guess?
Denver.
You know why? Because they're playing the Dogs. The Miami Dogs. I don't know if they'll ever be favored. If they, let's see, they're down. It's 1-1.
Yeah.
If they win this game and they're up 2-1, they're still going to be a dog again.
Yeah, 2.5-point dogs in this game.
Right, and if they get 3-1, they're up. Do you think no? Because they'll be on the road. They'll be a dog then. And if it's 3-2 and they're playing at home, they're going to be the dog again. I believe that Miami will be a dog in every game the rest of the series. And they keep winning. They're the greatest dog since Lassie. Can we put that up as a Discount Liquor Twitter poll question? Who's the greatest, or against Air Bud, or what? Who's the greatest dog ever? Isn't it Lassie, or is that old?
Lassie's old.
Yeah,
Air
okay.
Bud's kind of new. Yeah.
Okay, who's the greatest dog ever? 1-800-990-3776. We'll have Sophia Minard. Who's the greatest dog ever? Most famous dog ever? You got one? You don't. It's not. I agree. Lassie's old, but Lassie was it. Who's a more famous dog than Lassie? Beethoven. What was the? Wasn't there some dog they did movies about? Most famous dog.
Yeah, that was Air Bud. There was also the Beethoven movies.
Yeah, Air Bud. Most famous dog ever, because right now they are going to lose to the Miami Heat, the greatest dog ever. Somebody can look that up. How many games in the playoffs this year they've been an underdog and how many they've won. Somebody's making big money, and they've got enough, and they're so far ahead, they're probably taking much of that and picking the Heat to win the series. And that was, I think it was like 500. I think if it was like 5-1 before this game, too. I have to check to see what it is now. It's probably a little less, but there's more money to be made. There's always money to be made with dogs. Sophia Minard and the first place Milwaukee Brewers next.
More Brewers talk coming up on Homer and Tony on 94.5 ESPN.
So far, looking pretty good. Just have a little bit of a backup northbound 43 heading through the Capitol Drive construction zone, but for the most part, everything else is looking just fine. Traffic is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mix of sun and clouds, slight chance of a shower, a high of 77 at the lake, 85 inland tonight, slight chance of a shower, mostly cloudy with a low of 60. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Yeah, they're football guys, but they don't shy away from the big topics of the day.
We won a championship, and my dad brought me 8 chips to eat on the drive because he wouldn't stop for a snack.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of truth in that. Just imagine if we lost. He wouldn't even gotten those chips.
Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved Rising Crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo Thin Pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's, flavor is our family's business.
Kevin Murat here from Mentality Men's Health. We hear stories every day in our clinics that what used to work for guys doesn't anymore. Increase cardio, cut out certain food, nothing stops the changes in their bodies, especially the weight. The fact is, years of decreasing testosterone has packed on the belly fat that won't go away. We've introduced a medication, semaglutide, that helps drop 15% of the body weight on average while preserving testosterone. Join the over 20,000 Mentality clients and jumpstart your results. In Milwaukee, go to lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com.
Jump into summer fun when the Brewers battle the Oakland Athletics. Friday, June 9th through Sunday the 11th. Get half-price tickets for any seat with the 5-county Friday offer at the series opener. And rep MKE all summer long with the City Connect Brewers flag giveaway at the game on Saturday the 10th. Grab your seats now at brewers.com/promotions.
Men's wedding bands made from whiskey barrels and meteorites.
Welcome to Kessler's. If you are among the 6 million Americans living with Alzheimer's or care for someone with Alzheimer's or dementia, there is free help and support available 24/7. Visit alz.org or call 800-272-3900.
Spending more time at home? Don't forget that 94.5 ESPN's on your smart speaker. Just ask Alexa to open 94.5 ESPN. 94.5 ESPN on Alexa is presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
The award-winning 1017 The Truth is excited to be back celebrating the 52nd annual Juneteenth celebration in Milwaukee. Make sure you come down on Monday, June 19th, as we will be broadcasting live from the Juneteenth celebration from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Stop by our table to play games, win Truth swag, and say what up to your favorite Truth teammates. The 1017 The Truth celebration of Juneteenth is sponsored by Educators Credit Union, Tayback Law, Molson Coors, and Associated Bank.
It's Homer and Tony on 94.5 ESPN.
It's bad, it's o'clock, yeah, it's thick 30.
Sophia Minute is on assignment. We'll get to her when she's not on assignment. We have some debate by Frank the Judge, who says that Keyshawn said that they can win the division, not will. Where does he say can? I thought play the short one that you have. I thought they all said will.
I think they're going to win the division. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think they're going to win the division. He didn't say can, does he, anywhere?
No.
No, I think they're going to win the division. Now, then you have an even stronger one.
That was the stronger one.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Play it again.
Let me go grab the other one because I just saved over that one because this one was a little bit more.
Okay, play it again.
I think they're going to win the division. That's what I think.
Oh, yeah, I think they're going to win the division. And he added, that's what I think. Yeah. Not they could win the division. They're going to win the division. Any chance? First quote you played was can. I don't think so, but we have it all. Pebble's doing just an outstanding job at addressing all of this. And, yeah, that's the story of the day. Keyshawn Johnson, 1-800-990-3776. You open to respond.
The following year. I think that, to me, that's fair.
I think they're going to win the division. I know you guys love.
Yeah. That was the first one we played.
Right.
He said think both times.
Yeah, I think they're gonna. He doesn't say can. They're gonna.
He said can and no
they're
point.
gonna. He's in. 1-800-990-3776. And I said,
I think they're going to win the division. That's what I think.
Yeah, he doesn't come up with wild stuff. Now he said other things about that Jason not impressed at all. 1-800-990-3776. But again, I'm open, and we're keeping aware of all the other things that people have said. But yeah, it's June 5th. Keyshawn Johnson. I think they're going to win the division. Sean, you're on 94.5 ESPN. Go ahead, say it just like Keyshawn. I think they're going to win the division.
I think they're going to win the division. That's what I think.
Go ahead, Sean. Say it.
I don't think they're going to win the division.
Oh no, but even if you don't
Aaron
think,
Rodgers,
just say I think they're going to win the division. I want to see feel how it sounds.
I think they are going to win the division.
Yeah,
I don't say that with any.
Yeah, you don't believe that.
Confidence
no
or
no,
not at all.
No, I'm getting five. I think you go ahead.
Yeah, no. So I was going to post. You get 500 to 1 putting that money down, but I think your better odds are going to be with the Vikings at plus 300. I think that's a better bet because the lines are unproven. But you should also
now hold on. So
just
so you know, you don't win 500. You got to bet 100 to win 500. Now I'm thinking because I'm a hedger. Tony's not here to say but I would consider betting 100 on the Packers and 100 on the Vikings.
Yep. That's a good hedge.
Because if the Viking wins, then I'll have bet 200 to win 300 up 100, and if the Packers win, I still turn 200 into 500.
Yep, 100%. That's a great hedge.
Yeah, because you're basically
you should always
taking
caveat your gambling with not letting the Packers bet on themselves or on any other teams. I think the Colts are getting ready to announce another line of players that are going to get suspended for doing this. So your audience is everyone except professional Packer players in the state of Wisconsin. So your message to Jordan Love is don't bet.
Well, but can't they bet? I think they can bet. They're just...
No. I don't think they can. I mean,
well,
no, I don't
how
think so.
hard is this? Okay, let's say I am Jordan Love. All right. Hey, Sean.
Yep.
Sean.
You're Jordan Love. Hey, Jordan. How are you?
Sean, can you help me out? Can you put a couple down on for me? Well, sure. Right? I mean, how hard is that?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to trust the person who does it, but still, that's not that difficult. But no.
I don't know. I mean,
what?
But hey, maybe if David Bakhtiari
hold
wants
on.
to get,
I just want to. I want to let.
Them...
Would you tell Sean all the Packer players that you know, if they're interested in gambling, I'll be happy to place the bets for them, and I won't tell anybody. My phone number is 414-308-4785. Feel free to put your. What should I charge him?
I don't know, 8%.
No. Be nice.
That's
I
what
mean,
books
like
usually do.
Nah, I'd be like maybe
books usually do 8%.
I know, maybe 1%. I mean,
no. But maybe Bakhtiari could tube his season with the Packers by betting on the first game and then end up getting suspended for the entire season.
I think he loses his money.
Yeah, he probably does. And then in your famous dogs, you're forgetting Old Yeller.
No, that's even older than Lassie. If I'm gonna go old dogs, Lassie, Old Yeller was that movie was like 50. That movie was 70 years ago, buddy. That's Old Testament, Sean. You can't go Old Yeller.
I remember watching it as a kid.
We were gonna ask Sophia, but she's on assignment. Who's more recent than Lassie? Who's the most famous dog? Now, who? There is none.
It's Air Bud or Beethoven, probably. I mean,
well, I put down the question over at ESPN Milwaukee on Twitter.
Yeah,
I put down who is the most famous dog, and I have these four options: Snoop Dogg, Air Bud, Lassie, and the Miami Heat.
Yeah, but I mean like a dog. Now, Snoop Dogg's not a dog, so he doesn't. It's not a
right
name.
Now, Snoop Dogg's running away with the voting at 16%.
I know, but you got to
24%, Air Bud 9%,
no,
and the Miami Heat 0%.
You got to redo it. Snoop Dogg ate a dog. I need a dog. I think the only ones you have are
Scott's name.
Ugga.
There is no. They need to do a movie on a dog. Can you believe that?
Old Yeller.
Fine. Sean, keep
Maybe
going.
an Old Yeller reboot.
Yes, something. They need to make a famous dog. There is no famous dog. I'm sorry. Air Bud don't cut it. Well, they make so many movies now where the dogs talk and stuff, right? So you don't. I mean.
Right.
Yeah, all right. So we may have just created something here. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Packers are going to go 8-9. That's my prediction. And,
I think they're going to win the division. That's what I think.
Yeah, tell him, Keyshawn. Tell him.
Yeah, no. I like your hedge bet with the Vikings. I think that's a good way to go. I would never bet any money on the Detroit Lions ever, not until they're a proven commodity.
Yeah, no, I might go 50-50, so I only just put 100 down. I get 50, and I win 250 and 51-50, so I'm going to be up 50 or up 150 if either the Vikings or the Packers win the division. Thanks, Sean. 1-800-990-3776. Yes, in addition to Keyshawn Johnson's famous prediction, there's no dog. There's no famous dog in the world. That's terrible.
What about Clifford?
Yeah, that might be.
Benji?
Yeah, all right. I think either of those would qualify. Clifford, again, it's just other than one movie, Clifford's just a movie dog. I don't know. Now at least we have some. All right, what are the four real dogs? Air Bud, Beethoven, Clifford, and Benji? Is that those are real legitimate dogs? Yes. Yeah, you can wipe out the other one. We can't. I don't want to get
so Air Bud, Clifford, Benji, and the Miami Heat.
No, we don't have to put the Heat in.
No, okay.
Because I'm just saying, like, who's the number one dog?
Okay.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out if there's a top dog. I don't know if you put Lassie, Air Bud, Beethoven, Clifford. Oh, we got 5 there. You can't. Well, now forget Lassie. Let's just go to see between Air Bud, Beethoven, Clifford, and Benji. Those are the only ones I can think of. I know we won't get very many votes, but so what? I want to know who the number one dog is. And the answer is, it is Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg's the winner, but he has one problem. He's not a dog. So all of this is the result of me saying that the Miami Heat are, I think, the greatest dog in the history of sports that I can remember. They've been the underdog in almost every game. Even when they win, they're still the underdog. I think they were the underdog in every game against Boston. And they still won the series. And now they've been the underdog in the first 2 games against Denver. And even though they won, tell them, Pebble, who's the dog in Game 3?
The Miami Heat.
By, is it a point and a half?
2.5.
2.5. Sophia Minnaert, at some point, she's on assignment right now. Other than that, 1-800-990-3776. More on the only thing you're going to ever remember about today's show. Next.
This is Homer and Tony on 94.5 ESPN and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Backups continue on westbound 94 from 27th Street through the Stadium interchange, so give yourself that a little bit of extra time there. Right now, we've got about a 9-minute ride from downtown to the zoo. Southbound 4394, a little bit backed up, coming off of the high-rise bridge all the way down to the KK River, so be careful with that. We also have an accident on the Ryan Road off-ramp from 94 southbound, so that's also going to be tied up a bit. And then 41 southbound, a heavy pocket of traffic just south of Capitol Drive, and then again right around the North Avenue curve. Traffic is brought to you by the Neal Group. They know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net. That's NEAL Group.net. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, slight chance of a shower, mostly cloudy otherwise with a low of 60. Then tomorrow, chance for a morning shower, partly sunny, a high of 70. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
The Club at Lac La Belle is the birthplace of golf in Wisconsin, with a rich history you will feel once you arrive. Experience a round at the Club at Lac La Belle. The redesigned course is open to the public 7 days a week. Schedule your tee time today at clubatlaclabelle.com. This is a golf destination that you will want to play over and over again, and enjoy fine dining and event space after your round. An historic past meets a vibrant future. Go to clubatlaclabelle.com to start your journey.
The freshest ideas start with a stop at Century Foods.
Now through Wednesday, save on 6 to 10.75 ounce Doritos, 8 ounce Munchies, or 6.25 to 7 ounce Sun Chips. Frito-Lay, Doritos, Tortilla Chips, Munchies, or Sun Chips, 2 for $7. 8 to 13.5 ounce package Hostess multi-pack snack cakes, 2 for $6. 40 to 100 count package Vanity Fair napkins, 2 for $5. 16 ounce ice cream or 10.6 to 18 ounce bars or pops, Halo Top ice cream, fruit, Kato, fudge bars, or pops, 2 for $8.
Hey, why'd you throw my glass across the room?
I have to keep practicing.
The vase from Aunt Sophie?
I'm warming up in case I get to take them out at American Family Field. Read this.
Win the ultimate baseball fan experience at Century Foods?
You either get to throw out the first pitch, hold the finish line for the famous racing sausages, or be on the field during batting practice. My new TV!
Just doing a little batting practice of my own.
The ultimate baseball fan experience from Century Foods. Return the entry form found in the weekly ad to any Century by July 26th.
Voted best barbecue in Milwaukee, Smoke Shack serves up lip-smacking Southern-style eats. Enjoy slow-smoked brisket, ribs, chicken, and more on our private patio in the middle of the city. Crafted only from humanely raised meats, dry-rubbed, slowly smoked, and sauced by you. Sit back and relax with our weekday happy hour specials and weekend brunch. Dine in, order takeout, or consider Smoke Shack to do the cooking for your next barbecue celebration. Check us out in the historic 3rd Ward on Milwaukee Street or at smoke-shack.com.
During COVID-19, many people can't afford rent and have been threatened with eviction, and some have experienced sexual harassment.
My landlord told me my rent would be free if I gave him something in exchange.
The Fair Housing Act protects you during COVID-19 or anytime from anyone making unwelcome sexual advances. If this happens to you, file a complaint with HUD. Fair Housing, the law is on your side. To learn more, visit HUD.gov/fairhousing. If you fear for your safety, call 911. A public service message from HUD in partnership with the National Fair Housing Alliance.
Sophia Minard.
And that right there means baseball at its best.
And now, leading off for your Milwaukee Brewers,
Valley Sports Wisconsin, Sophia Minard.
The first place Milwaukee Brewers, Sophia Minard. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Sophia. How's it feel? Still, the first place Milwaukee Brewers. They've been first place most of the year, haven't they, really?
Yeah, they have. I think probably what they're feeling good about is winning 3 out of the 4 here in Cincinnati, and they've got a chance for the sweep here tonight. So I think all things are going in the right direction, hopefully.
Even though every week, is it on Monday they do this where they add players, drop players? Is it Monday each Monday? Because it seems like every Monday they got at least 3 moves.
Yeah, I think it just feels like every day at this point. Just the number of players that are on the IL, just the number of roster moves that they seem to be making week to week. Got a pretty significant one today with Luis Urias being activated from the 60-day. That was a hamstring injury for him back on opening day, actually. And so he's back from his rehab assignment, and he's in the lineup tonight, which is awesome. So unfortunately, Mike Brasso had to be optioned for that. And then Darren Ruff, who was hurt here on Friday, he's going to go on the 60-day IL.
60? I didn't know the injury was that bad. What?
Yeah, it's a significant knee injury for him, more than what they initially thought. So it was a pretty significant laceration, but he's got some other internal damage in there. So unfortunately for him, it's a worse injury than what they anticipated.
We did want to ask you the most, in your opinion, which is a stupid way to ask it because it's the only one you've got, or any of us have. You're the most famous dog in the world right now, like entertainment, like growing up for me since I'm old. The answer was Lassie for 30 years, but Lassie is just for old people. So the most famous dog. Pebble, who do we break it now?
So we got Scooby-Doo, Air Bud, Beethoven, and Clifford.
Yeah, it doesn't seem there's any famous dog.
Okay.
I mean, none of them
Yeah,
are
I guess I would go Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Air Bud is a good one. That was kind of like from my era.
Right, but, okay, yeah.
I can't really think of any other ones.
We decided that Snoop Dogg was the winner, but there's a fundamental problem that it's not a dog.
Yeah.
But
I guess Paw Patrol. Does Paw Patrol count? Paw Patrol is big with the kids.
Paw Patrol. I know all about Paw Patrol. I don't know all the names of our granddaughter.
We have a submission from Lane Grindle here.
Yes?
Submission from Lane Grindle. He says Old Yeller.
Okay, Old Yeller is even older than Lassie. Old Yeller is a movie, I swear it was done. I will have to look it up. I think that movie is 70 years old. So, but
Or he also submitted Homeward Bound.
yeah, Homeward Bound's a good movie, but what's the name of the dog?
Well, now you're asking for too much.
I know. If you have to ask, then it's, I appreciate the, I think, but the problem with Paw Patrol is there's so many dogs. I don't even know the most famous of the Paw Patrol, but yeah, there's no.
I don't either, but I feel like that's at least a current one.
It is a current one, but of Air Bud, Beethoven, Clifford, and Scooby-Doo, you would pick Air Bud or Scooby-Doo?
Probably Scooby-Doo,
right.
I think.
Yeah, there seems to be no good answer. All right, and now back to the Brewers. What would you say if someone asked you, Sophia, what's been the top story of the year for the Brewers?
The depth. I think the depth would have to be the first one just because of the number of players that they've used and how that depth has been tested and just, the number of guys that have come up from the AAA team and contributed in really meaningful ways. They've had to weather a lot of storms here with both the pitching staff and the position players. So, yeah, I think the depth is the primary story.
Talking with Sophia Minard. Now, if a top story required you to pick a player, who gets the top billing?
Oh, gosh.
It's tough.
I think Devin Williams would have to be up there, honestly, at least on the pitching side, just because it's been such an unusual season for him. But he's just been nails, and he's given up essentially nothing. He's allowed 1 earned run He's had great command. He's had a couple multi-inning saves despite some irregular work. And so I think, they need him to be that. So I think Devin deserves a lot of credit for just kind of his first 2 months here.
Oh, I would agree totally. He's incredible. 19 and 2/3 innings. He's given up 8 hits. He has 26 strikeouts. His ERA, which sometimes for a reliever is high, but it's .46. No, he's incredible.
Yeah, and I think, again, it's been irregular at times, just the way that the games have gone. They've been lopsided. And obviously we know things will kind of even out, once we say Devin's not pitching a lot, then he's going to be asked to go, hopefully 2 or 3 straight or go 4 out of 5 days. But I think the kind of the way he's taken on the multi-inning save too has been really impactful.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what there's no way they would be close to having the record. I mean, it's like Hader, but for those of us that are real, it's like Raleigh Fingers. Like, it doesn't matter when he comes in, whatever they ask him to do, he'll figure it out. He'll win. He'll get the save. How many times? I'm trying to look up.
He's been excellent.
How many times has he pitched more than an inning? I couldn't find that here, but
he had 3 straight multi-inning saves, and he's gone back-to-back, I think, just twice. But I could be wrong on that.
Right. And this was something they really didn't want to do, right? I mean, generally they've had the opinion that so that you can be on a more consistent, the guys just pitch the 9th, right?
Well, that was how it was traditionally set up. But I think, to Devin's credit, he's been willing to do it. And I think because he has not had to pitch as often, he's kind of physically more able to do it. So I think it's definitely credit to him for just physically keeping himself ready and wanting the ball in those spots, because that's a big deal too. Because normally when he's coming in for a multi-inning save, there's trouble, right? These aren't clean innings. There's runners on base. He's keeping them there. He's not giving anything up, and he just does a great job of staying pitch to pitch, which is what you have to be as a closer. So I think he's just been nails for them.
Yeah, I just think whatever, if it's the worst situation, get him ready. We're putting him in, right? And that makes sense. Whatever the situation is, the worst at any point late in the game, you want him pitching.
Yeah, that's why you've got your best guy lined up for that spot.
All right, as a hitter, I'm going to lead with Owen Miller, though you can pick your top story of the year for a hitter.
No, I think Owen's a great selection there. I think he's done great against left-handed pitching, which has been a story for this team. The hitting streak that he had going, 13 games, just an incredible month of May overall with his on-base ability. There was some power in there, the hitting streak, just like the quality of that bat. He just doesn't give anything up. And then he's played all over the field, too, so he's played great defense. So I think, Owen's, I don't think anyone would argue against Owen.
All right, how many times now has Christian Yelich been caught stealing? Once?
I think just once, yeah.
Yeah, because he's got like 14 or something. Yeah, he's the best base stealer, close to the best base stealer ever in terms of his success. They're just going to have him, I'm sure somebody's brought it up with counsel, like just have him steal every time he's on base, or he doesn't do it that often, but he never gets caught.
Well, there's a lot of information that goes into that. I think Quentin Berry at first base deserves some credit for that too, of the information that he gives them on the pitcher, pitches to go on, situations, obviously their ability to make reads and steal bases. So there's a lot that goes into that.
Talking with Sophia Minnaert, did they leave anything out? Any injury that people she didn't know of, or anybody else who's next back?
Well, hopefully Willy Adames on Thursday. He's going to go out to AAA. He homered yesterday with the Timber Rattlers, so that was good. So hopefully we see Willie at home on Thursday. A couple other guys are going out on rehab assignments this week. So I think things are hopefully turning a corner for the better for them on the
Anything on Woodruff? I lost track.
No, still slow still slow going there. He will not be ready until after the All-Star break.
And the additional dog that was added now is Snoopy, but I think that's also...
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
That's old days. All right. Thanks, Sophia. Thanks for fitting us in.
All right. Thanks, guys, for the time. Yeah, appreciate it.
Sophia Menard. Yeah, that's Devin Williams. Devin Williams is so good. You can't believe he's that good. I'm not sure Hader was ever that good. I mean, he may have had more strikeouts. Somebody will have to check the numbers. 1-800-990-3776. And yes, our dog reference, because the Miami Heat are in the process of becoming the greatest dog ever in terms of professional sports. Somebody has to check to see. I claim they've been an underdog in almost every playoff game this year. The contest might be over. Scooby-Doo, 82%. Clifford, 11%. Air Bud and Beethoven, they're not getting any respect at all, 3.5%. I think if we had Snoopy, Snoopy might get in, but I think Snoopy's old too. I don't know that they haven't done anything new with Snoopy in a long time. By the way, somebody said Old Yeller was 1957.
Yeah, we have a caller calling in too, Homer, a fan who called in and said that Rin Tin Tin is his vote.
Yes, Rin Tin Tin. You know what Rin Tin Tin is in comparison to Old Yeller?
What's that?
Old!
Of course.
Rin Tin Tin, Lassie, and then the oldest one.
We got some submissions here to the ESPN Milwaukee Talking text line as well, 800-990-3776. From the 414, Marley from Marley and Me.
Oh, no chance. But appreciate the mention.
Hunley, the dog from Curious George from the 262.
Okay.
Tim the Trash Man says, in Milwaukee, says Toto from the Wizard of Oz, Spud McKenzie, and Cujo, just to name a few. Rick from Spooner says Snoopy from Charlie Brown. Terry from the 920 says, don't forget about White Fang.
White Fang is, that's not the Husky dogs kind of thing, like, right? Am I right there? I don't know.
Right. From the 262, my vote is for Scooby-Doo. I have him tattooed. What about Goofy or Pluto?
Yeah. No, it's just, and again, with Lassie or
John in the 414 says
Old
Cujo. DW in Plover says the most famous dog is the U.S. hockey team that won the gold. Rob from Milwaukee says Homer is Spud McKenzie.
No, the Rin Tin Tin, Old Yeller, and Lassie, they were real dogs. Scooby-Doo, no. Clifford, no. Beethoven, yes. Air Bud, I guess technically yes, right? I mean, there was a real dog that played Air Bud.
Patch from Milwaukee texts in, says Brian from Family Guy.
I will defer on that. Do you watch Family Guy?
I've seen it before, yeah.
Yeah. So.
I haven't watched it in years.
Yeah, everybody is proving her right. There is no Lassie of today's generation. Somebody needs to start one. There are too many other options as far as cartoons or animated, whatever. Looks like Scooby-Doo is going to win, though. If we did it again with Snoopy, I think Snoopy could give Scooby-Doo a run. But it pretty much just confirms what we said. There is no famous dog like there was. That's what's wrong with this country. Here's old man. That's what's wrong with this country. We got no Lassie. There's no Lassie in this country. What's wrong with people? Next.
Full show podcasts, interviews, and special content is available right now at WisconsinOnDemand.com. This is Homer and Tony on 94.5 ESPN. Even when you think you know what's going on,
can you make a good horse sound?
You can never be too sure.
So the answer is no.
Packers, nonsense, chaos.
Also, when you were kids, you used to learn how to do the thing. I'm going to put the microphone down by my lap here. It's not inappropriate. It's just what I have to do. Where you learn this thing, right?
What in the world are you doing?
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
This is going to be interesting, so pay attention.
Mountains and trees. Ducks and hunting dogs. Dinosaur bones. Meteorites. Steel that's carved like the leather stirrups on a Western saddle. Damascus steel, like they make swords out of. Carbon fiber. Hardwood.
Manly things.
Hardwood. You already said that. I know. I just like the sound of it. Hardwood. It does have a nice ring to it.
Ring? I see what you did there.
I'm sorry. I got us off track.
Kessler's has wedding bands for men
Real men.
made of manly things.
He wants you to wear a big, beautiful diamond so that everyone you meet will know how much he loves you.
Why not insist that he wear something equally cool?
You'll tell your grandkids about the day you went shopping for this wedding band at Kessler's when they ask,
Where did you get such a cool ring? And what is it made of?
Welcome to Kessler's.
To find the Kesslers nearest you,
go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
Imagine this. It's 1968, and the mayor of Milwaukee says nope to Summerfest. How many bands would you have never seen, and how many lakeside selfies just wouldn't exist? There'd be no memories of riding the Sky Glider at sunset, and you'd never know the feeling of hitting all 12 stages before seeing your favorite band. Thankfully, 55 years ago, Summerfest was a yes, and every year since has been one to remember. Don't miss Milwaukee Summerfest, presented by American Family Insurance. Find tickets, lineup, and more at summerfest.com.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Associated Bank. Show your Brewers pride everywhere you go with Brewers Checking, only from Associated Bank. Score exclusive perks like a one-of-a-kind Brewers Debit MasterCard, 10% off at the team store, even express check-in at the Associated Bank gate. And if you want a VIP game day, the Associated Bank Power Alley is for everyone. Contact the Brewers ticket office to learn how you could treat your crew to a full buffet and private bar overlooking left center field. Brewers Checking. Learn more at associatedbank.com/Brewers today. Member FDIC.
This place has a pulse. You hear it in the canopy, feel it in the ground. Life, fully illuminated, engulfs you. From the birds singing in the treetops above to the tiniest insects in the soil below. You take a deep, cleansing breath, filling your lungs with the essence of the forest. Now, imagine it's all gone. Healthy, life-giving forests reduced to nothing. No singing birds, no lush canopy, and water and food in short supply around the world. Time is running out to protect our forests, and without our love, they can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our forests. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
The award-winning 1017 The Truth is excited to be back celebrating the 52nd annual Juneteenth celebration in Milwaukee. Make sure you come down on Monday, June 19th, as we will be broadcasting live from the Juneteenth celebration from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Stop by our table to play games, win Truth swag, and say what up to your favorite Truth teammates. The 1017 The Truth celebration of Juneteenth is sponsored by Educators Credit Union, Tayback Law, Molson Coors, and Associated Bank.
You're listening to Homer and Tony on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand or wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
The Hall of Famer Tony Smith will be back tomorrow. Discount Liquor Twitter poll question, by the way, 1-800-990-3776. Yeah, do we have enough time to play Keyshawn Johnson's 3 minutes again? There's nothing we'll do that people will remember. This was the day, June 5th, when Keyshawn Johnson said the Packers would do what? What were the Packers?
Let's go to Green Bay. I don't know if you've heard, they moved on from their Hall of Fame quarterback who only won one Super Bowl, kind of weak. So David Bakhtiari.
Kind of weak?
Yeah, listen. I mean, as great as he was, you get one title. As a fan, I'd be a little upset about that. So David Bakhtiari, Packers left tackle, was talking about, are they rebuilding versus competing? And here's what he had to say.
We got a job to do. We got a job to win. I know everyone would love to take the words that I said, but I mean, it's, to me, flat out how I look at it, it's disrespectful to say you're not rebuilding off a Hall of Fame quarterback. It was disrespectful to say you weren't rebuilding off of Brett Favre when you moved to Aaron. No one knew who Aaron was and what he was going to be, so I'm not going to sit here and pull back those words, because that is, when you look at how it's been built and how we were chasing after it and how the cap, there's a bunch of situations that can definitely allude to it. We have a young team. With that, people go to the word rebuild on an extreme level, or you look at what it is. The beauty is, I have no clue. And that's the beauty of it. That's what football is. We're all batting 1,000 come the first game of the year, and we'll figure it out.
I'm not mad at it. All right, Jay, since you hopped in there first. Jay, should the Packers just admit that they're rebuilding and take some pressure off of Jordan Love?
I mean, is one word going to take pressure off of Jordan Love, regardless of whether they're rebuilding or not? You're following Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. There's going to be pressure. Sorry, one word is not going to change how much pressure that is on Jordan Love at all. At all.
I think he needs to worry about protecting Jordan Love's blind side, number one, in Bakhtiari. But at the same time, they're not rebuilding. They're putting in a quarterback that they expect to be able to do some things. When you're rebuilding, that means you lost several players. And I understand Aaron Rodgers is a Hall of Famer, and Aaron Rodgers is this, and Aaron Rodgers is that. But if they feel like this young man and Jordan Love can get them to where they want to be, sometimes it's addition by subtraction. And I know you guys don't want to say that because it's Aaron Rodgers. But what if Jordan Love does do some things that make you go, will we still be sitting here at the end of the year talking about they were rebuilding?
Are you predicting that?
I think he's going to do. I think they're going to win the division. That's what I think.
I don't. If you look at Aaron Rodgers' first season where he actually started, right? So Brett Favre is there and Rodgers sitting on the bench for 3 years. 3 years. Drafted right around the same spot as Jordan Love. They were 13-3 in Brett Favre's last season. You know what they were with Aaron Rodgers in his first season?
Tell me.
6-10. So I wouldn't say it's a rebuild, Key, but I do think it's reasonable to say he's going to have to get his feet wet his first year as starter. He's not going to be as good as Aaron Rodgers was in Rodgers' last season as starter, where they didn't even make the playoffs, but not like a full rebuild because they've already drafted their receivers. They're ascending. So maybe a little step back year one, and then they're right back at it the following year. I think that, to me, that's fair.
I think they're going to win the division. I know you guys love Detroit, and you guys are all high on the Lions.
Minnesota, yep.
Yeah.
Detroit, Minnesota. Yeah. Chicago should be better. We'll see.
Yeah, Minnesota.
I think they're going to win the division. Keyshawn Johnson about the Green Bay Packers. To our knowledge, until someone tells us otherwise, the first person on the planet Earth that says that.
I think they're going to win the division. That's what I think.
There you have it. They're about the Packers.
Let's go to Green Bay. I don't know.
Unbelievable. Never thought we'd have any day. I don't know if I thought, other than the Packer players or the coaches, and be positive about the team. Of note, yes, I did attend Crusher Fest. I was under the belief, Pebble, that I might get a chance to be a referee.
No such luck?
No such luck. But I think the organizer said yes, next year, yes. But we'll see. I did see the $1 Million Man. What's his name?
Ted DiBiase?
Yeah, well, don't you think the $1 Million Man? I didn't even know who he was. He's much older, but he didn't have his usually has a tux on and stuff?
His tux, yeah. He's got the
and blonde hair.
Belt.
Yeah, he didn't have any of that. Wouldn't you sell the bluff even if you're old? Come up with a little juice.
He's not living the gimmick anymore.
I guess. Anyway, people were still. He was the most popular one by far. But I was again assured by the organizer that I will be a referee next year. Do you think that'll happen?
I would hope so.
Yeah, so would I. Our prize picks. They now have one for Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love. And since you're on a roll,
starts with love.
Aaron Rodgers, season passing yards 4,050, which he beats almost every year other than last year. And Jordan Love, 3,375, less than 200 yards a game. That would be 3,400 since they have 17 games. Since you are hot, and for those who don't know, only one call, that's all. Pebble correctly predicted that Miami would defeat Denver in Game 2, and no one else did. What do you think? Jordan Love, 3,375. Aaron Rodgers, 4,050. You pick over or under.
For each of those?
Yeah. And we got time. It's early.
I will take over on the Jordan Love, and I will take under on the Aaron Rodgers.
Any particular reason why? The number of Jordan Love is so low?
The number for Jordan Love is so low. That's you said less than 200 a game, so that's why I think it's going to be over, definitely. And under, I just think something's going to happen with Rodgers. He's going to get hurt or something like that. I just don't think he's going to hit that mark.
I need to know something about Desmond Ridder with Atlanta.
Desmond Ridder, the quarterback?
Yeah. They have him at 25.75. Is he not expected to play? Is he going to get hurt? 25.75. That's incredibly historic low. Yes, Keyshawn Johnson said it. The Packers are going to win the division.
I think they're going to win the division. That's what I think.
Nothing else is going to be remembered from today's show. Close, please, Gals and
I don't
Breast
have to
next.
do nothing but stay black and die. White people!
I will bet anybody.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Thing sucks.
Likes to laugh, likes to have fun, and I look for sex. She's my only one, and she's sure.
Backups continue on westbound 94 from 27th Street through the Stadium interchange, so give yourself that a little bit of extra time there. Right now, we've got about a 9-minute ride from downtown to the zoo. Southbound 4394, a little bit backed up, coming off of the high-rise bridge all the way down to the KK River, so be careful with that. We also have an accident on the Ryan Road off-ramp from 94 southbound, so that's also going to be tied up a bit. And then 41 southbound, a heavy pocket of traffic just south of Capitol Drive, and then again right around the North Avenue curve. Traffic is brought to you by the Neal Group. They know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net. That's NEAL Group.net. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, slight chance of a shower, mostly cloudy otherwise with a low of 60. Then tomorrow, chance for a morning shower, partly sunny, a high of 70. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Graduation season is just around the corner, and what better way to celebrate than with custom banners and yard signs from Fast Signs of Glendale. Their team of experts can create personalized banners and yard signs that will make your graduate feel extra special on their big day. With their exceptional service and attention to detail, you can trust that your order will be perfect every time. Let Fast Signs of Glendale help you make your graduate's day even more memorable